Natasha Sutherland. I'm a herd manager at Stein Farms, LLC, out in Leroy, New York. I started this job literally as the 14-year-old, showing up milking on the weekends and slowly worked my way up into this stuff. Yeah, I'm now 36 years old. I'm managing 1,000 cows on this site, and we've got another 1,000 young stock at 2 other locations. So let's talk about tools of the trade. Half of my job is details, bookwork, managing numbers so that way we do everything correctly. The other half of my job is literally diagnosing what's wrong with somebody when we identify that something's not right. And I have some specific tools I carry around with me, quite often literally in my pouch you see me carrying. Stethoscope, just like a doctor, right? Only I'm listening for ruminations. A cow's stomach will tell you more about her in a 2-minute listen than almost anything else you can see about her. You want to know, is it rumbling like a freight train, or is it really quiet and just kind of creeping along? And those ruminations are how rapidly she is moving protein out of her rumen onto the rest of her digestive system, so that way she can go ahead and start making milk for us. Second thing I almost always carry around are called keto sticks. Keto sticks can actually be used on humans. Every mammal puts off ketones. A cow can get ketosis, where she starts releasing ketones because she's breaking down her own body fat, and they kind of get into this crazy cycle where they can't stop releasing those fat particles, breaking them down, turning them into sugars, and they start going into liver failure. It's a terrifying thing. So we're literally IVing those cows with dextrose, replacing those fatty sugars that they're creating with real sugars, slowly spinning them back out of that horrific cycle. The last thing, second to last thing I always carry is a sleeve. Because if you talk about what's going in, aka the stomach, you gotta talk about what's going out. Manure is another great way to tell what's going on with cows. So literally, that's how long my glove is, because that is how far sometimes you will go in to figure out what's going on with the cow's manure. Is it consistent? Is there lots of fiber? Is there lots of undigested feed? And we can do this in a minute so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. Is it bubbly? Is it really liquidy? Is it super green? Because that's not good. Is it hot orange? Because that's that liver failure we were talking about. There are a million things that poop can tell you. The last thing I carry around at all times is a Sharpie. Because guess what? You're not going to remember it all. No matter what we tell ourselves, you're going to forget everything. So you write it down. You write it on your hand. You write it on a clipboard. You write it on your sleeve. You write it anywhere. For that, I literally have access to every single cow on my entire farm and all of their history right here. But you have to be able to speak farmer. So fresh means she had a baby, she had a bull. A calving score is how hard it was when she had that baby, so 2. So someone literally helped her have that calf. Then she got what's called a ProPreg. I'm in a study. It's really kind of cool. We're trying to put probiotics in cows. She got it not once but twice, because that was what the protocol was. Then she moved from my fresh cow pen to like a normal milking group. But literally, I can do this for So at Stein Farms, we make milk. That's our #1 product. Our #2 product is beef. My role is to literally maintain the quality of both of those items. Every dairy cow gives you 3 things in this life: calf, milk, and eventually beef. That beef has got to be of quality grades, so that way it can end up in the grocery stores. 1/3 of what you find in the grocery store freezer section is literally dairy cow beef. My day starts at 5 a.m. I'm here. I'm talking with the night crew to see if there was anything interesting that happened through the night, because someone's got to be with the cows 24 hours a day. After my touch base with the night crew, I go out and I assess my special needs group. So special needs cows are anything and everything. I've got a sore leg. I've got a sore udder. I've got something going on metabolically. I've just had a calf. I could have had a surgery. Depends on the day of the week. My schedule is very much set by a Monday to Friday schedule. On Mondays, it is vaccination day. On Tuesdays, it is vet check day. On Wednesdays, we belong to an program called ImmuCell, which is a vaccination program that then impacts the quality of our colostrum. And the higher the quality of the colostrum, the more money I make off it, which is awesome. Thursdays are breeding days or reproduction days, and Fridays are catch up on everything you screwed up day. So I get out of here at 4 o'clock. Most days I get an hour lunch. I mean, so it's a full 10-hour day. I do about 8 miles of walking a day on average. My day is hectic. It's rapid animals. Observations are something that you've got to do at all times. That is one of those soft skills that is absolutely mandatory for this position, is being able to look and take in something minute and remember it and try to catch it again the next day or see if it's changed the next day. Soft skills that are needed to do this job are mainly time management and the ability to delegate, but also attention to detail. It's a family farm. We've been in this site since 1952. I've been here since literally birth. I was born just down the road and then moved here when I was a 4-year-old, but truly the role I play as herdsperson I've had for the last 7 years, but I've been a herdsman many other places before that. On our business, the philosophy was you can't come home and work straight away. You had to go out and gain experience. I'm not gonna lie, I fought this path at the start. In high school, I was very interested in doing anything but dairy. I thought that it would be a dead-end career. I left, I went to high school, I went to college, and I realized animal science is the only place I wanna be. So I went to high school at Cal Mum, it's my local high school. From there I went on to Cornell University. They have an animal science program with a focus in dairy sciences. But really from there, the hands-on work is what you had to have to get anywhere in this world. So I did an apprenticeship at 2 different farms during college. And then I actually left the country and I went overseas. I went to New Zealand on a 6-month exchange program, which was very much a hands-on, understanding plant sciences, understanding the role that the animal agricultural world plays with the plant agricultural world and how they're so symbiotic and working together. I took that experience and actually returned to New Zealand, and I lived over there for 7 years. So in elementary school and high school, my choices were really limited. We didn't have the focus on ag or even applied sciences that there is today. I mean, you gotta have math. You gotta have really excellent math skills, but I'm talking algebra, not calculus. The next thing you've gotta have is really basic and sound science skills. Excellent biology, even advanced biology would be definite wins, you know, if I saw someone coming through with that on their resume. Something I wished I'd had, which is now available to you guys, is the BOCES programming. That was either the Ag Academy Animal Science program, which is there and available. I know that it's really active and flourishing. You don't need a 2-year or 4-year degree to do what I do. But I'm an owner, which made it very much important for me to have that business background, that communications background, the background in the scientific study side of it. A 2-year degree is a great idea. Cobleskill, Morrisville, Alfred have great programs. And there's some wonderful actual just hands-on programs out in the Wisconsin area that literally put you in a farmer's shoes for 9 months and give you really hardcore hands-on training and then send you out to be hired. There are a million different paths to get to where I am today. And to be honest, a lot of kids who are in my role now started as the milker. Like literally the most basic but the most fundamental job of the farm. And you work your way up through the system. A starting role on a farm, like basic milking, I mean, you're talking minimum wage to begin, but someone who's going out for the herdsman's position, that's a salaried position. That's someone, by the definition of New York law, is able to hire and fire staff members below them. That's someone who has an intense responsibility level. Therefore, there's a pretty decent salary that comes with that. I'd start somebody at the $45,000 range who has very limited experience. But honestly, my firm is interviewing right now, and I'm offering people $60,000 to $65,000 a year to come in. Some people are getting housing on top of that. So something that may catch you off guard when you first get into the agricultural world is literally the vast language you have to pick up. Guys will sit there and gloat about their rolling bulk tank average. Some guys will sit there and gloat about their somatic cell average. I mean, it's amazing how competitive you can be, but also literally, like I said, that scientific language that you have to pick up and understand to be able to have a coherent conversation with the farmers around you. It's a lot, but it's awesome. I literally love what I do every day.